Hello everyone, welcome to INOCON 2020. My name is Antoine. I'm a master's student in the music business program at Berkeley, Valencia. I'm also the sync department manager at DISRUPCIÓN Records. This session is held in partnership with Disco, a media sharing platform that we're gonna look at and how to use it. This session will be held by Claire and Tim, and they're gonna present to you how to use the platform right away.
All right. Hello, it's Claire from Disco, and I'm here with Tim, who's from our LA office. We wanted to give you a little introduction on how Disco is used, how it came about, and show you how you can make an EPK and present that in a professional way to any kind of client. To give you some background, Disco was built by a music supervision company called Level 2 in Australia as a means of collaborating more effectively, making sure people weren't doubling up on work and having libraries combined so you could get the best out of your creative self and collaborate effectively with colleagues. Yeah, it's grown tremendously over the years. So we've got a number of users. I think there's around 3,000 companies globally now using Disco. There's an office in the States, in Australia, in the UK, and then we have consultants elsewhere. But essentially we have loads and loads of managers, artists, composers using Disco. We also have independent companies like Mute and Warp and Ninja Tune. Tim, jump in with any others that you think are good to mention here.
Yeah, I mean, Secretly Group and Beggars.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've been working through major labels. So we've got most of Universal Worldwide on board now. And
yep.
We've got more and more radio stations and radio pluggers and working into that world, but it's definitely predominantly in the sync industry at the moment. So music supervisors and people pitching to them.
Cool. Nice one. And then do you want to sort of run people through how they can use Disco to create an EPK, present themselves professionally and pitch to clients?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, a couple of things there that to follow on from Claire. Disco sort of pulled together a bunch of different tools that different people were using. So the functions of iTunes and Dropbox and SoundCloud and MailChimp. A lot of the slowdowns that we found were in bouncing between all these different tools and constantly uploading files and downloading files. And music supervisors, since they receive hundreds and hundreds of emails with things to download every week, it takes up an enormous amount of time. So in Disco, we'll show you how all that is combined. So what we want to do is kind of dive into an EPK or presentation. You'll just notice that in here, I've clicked on this playlist. These are all playlists, and these are the songs inside. So you can play the tracks and scroll through them on the waveform. And there's all the metadata that you can come in and edit. So I guess while we're here, let's just quickly look at metadata and how you can and should set it up. All these fields are going to download and travel with the track. And some of the things that are really critical here are adding your contact information. There is nothing worse as a music supervisor than receiving songs that are perfect for the spot, but are not, we don't know who they came from, what the control information is, and have no way of actually licensing them. So always make sure you've at least got your contact info in the comments. Often people also put that in the grouping field. And the grouping can also be used to say things like, this is a one-stop track, which means that you control the publishing and the master, and you're the only person that would need to be contacted to actually clear the use of the song. Obviously, a title, an artist name, and an album are pretty critical. Those three pieces of data essentially say what's unique about this particular recording, because there could be Motel Pool by Aerosmith on another album, or Motel Pool by Racing, but it's on a different album, like a live album. And so it's obviously a different recording. So it's really important to try and fill in this info add the artwork if you've got it. Presentation is everything here, and people love to see the artwork that you have for your tracks. Get the lyrics into all of your songs. Often a supervisor doesn't actually have a use for your music the second that they receive it, but a year later they might. And if they're doing a search through whatever system they use, whether it's Disco or iTunes or something else, if they type in some words in the search bar, your lyrics, if they happen to be on point, are going to show up in that search. And the same for maybe the genre and other information. And we'll show you some other tags as well. So filling this out really, really helps so that you're exposed in the future after you've already done the work. One thing on splits,
just to,
yeah, jump on in.
Oh, sorry, I was going to jump in. With the tagging side of things, if I'm a music supervisor and I use Disco and I receive your track and it's got those tags in them, I'm going to have them in my account too, both on the metadata tab there where you are, but also if I'm not using Disco for whatever crazy reason and I download the track, you can have it so that any tag travels with the track either in the comments field or where Tim's got it here in the genre area there.
Yeah, all these fields. This is all read by iTunes and any other metadata reader. As I was clicking over to, we have the other tags in Disco, which we call native tags. And that's where you can choose for a specific song, go through and add descriptive information. This can be actually done by an AI that we've trained that listens to the songs and adds this kind of creative data. So that's just something to think about also in the future. Just to finish up here, the composer information, it's really good if you get the splits in. So when you write songs with other people, it can be very, very difficult to decide who actually wrote what and what the splits are, but coming to a conclusion is important, and having a split sheet is important where you all write down, you know, I wrote 30% and that person wrote 30% and this person wrote 30%, and signing off. So you all signed that and dated it. And then you put this information in here. So it's nice and easy, just the first writer's name, their split, the PRO that they're affiliated with. In America, there's 3 or 4 now, so ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. And so that's just helpful as well to show who they're affiliated with. So let's jump over into actually building an EPK. I might reverse engineer this and start with the finished product and then show you how to do this. So what we're looking at is a Disco playlist. This is what you would have sent to a client or a contact that you want to share your music with. The theme, or what we call the theme, is this image in the background and this logo. So you can customize that part of it. You can add a message to your playlist. So this is, you know, your bio or press release, or even just a description of what's going on this playlist. These are
worth
sections.
noting there too, sorry Tim, that you can add in other links. So if you don't have all the tracks, you could have a Spotify link in there with the additional tracks, or social profile links, which can be really handy for any recipient just to get a better feel for your kind of profile and presence.
Absolutely. And down here, the important part being the music, you can create sections to divide out different things. So here are all the main tracks. They're all playable, and the supervisor can scroll on the waveform. They can read your lyrics. There are options to download the tracks, the MP3, the WAV, the AIF. Depending on the plan you have in Disco, we'll automatically convert between WAV and AIF.
And on that too, you can see there's, I think you were just about to go into it, but the save to Disco. So if you receive this playlist and you have a Disco account, you can click on save to Disco on a track level or on a playlist level, and that'll import it directly into your account. So it sort of removes that step of needing to download and then re-upload to organize in your own account to then share with someone else. It's just very seamless.
Exactly, and that sort of is really, really important, seamlessness. When you make the recipient's life easier they like you a lot more. You get to the top of their list a lot faster, because you can imagine I've received 50 emails, of which there are 30 disco playlists, which I can immediately save to my disco account and access. And then there's 20 other things. There might be Dropbox links, WeTransfer links, attached MP3s. And for me to go through those is a much more laborious process. So I'm going to prioritize the things that are immediately available to me as a music supervisor. So this is just pushing you a little bit ahead of the crowd, or at least that's what we believe and have heard from the rest of the industry. Important, also including your instrumentals, the instrumental version of your tracks. Sometimes the lyrics don't work for the piece, but the instrumental and the flow of it and where it goes is perfect. So giving that option is going to essentially double the chances that your track might work. Disco's not just for music. You can also put your photos, give people more of a chance to see what your imagery is like, and you can add videos. You can also add documents and PDFs and things like that. So that's a really quick look at what an EPK might appear like, and let's see what it would be like to build it in Disco. So here is that actual playlist. If I wanted to share it again, I'd just go right here, share, and get that URL and send it off. But I want to steal all of the songs from it and throw them over here. And then everything that I want is on this list. So if I had just uploaded them, I would have dragged from my computer onto this column. This is the playlist creator, and that's how you actually upload tracks into Disco. I want to add some of those sections so I can break it up. So let's just call it main tracks. And that's the first section. And then I'm going to go instrumentals. And drag that down. And then let's add a media section for my photos and video.
And what's useful with the sections too is they act like a bit of a heading. So they kind of break it up so people know what they're getting underneath that section. But also on the receiving end, if someone only wanted to download the main tracks bit, they could do. So they don't have to, they're not obliged to download the whole playlist. They could stream some stuff and download what they want.
Exactly. So as you save a playlist, you've got all your settings here. So the theme, remember the imagery that we had? So this is the theme. I can choose it again. You can easily create new themes. You just drag on those images. Save our theme. The message. So this is where you'd put your bio or press release or URLs. Oops, there we go. Down here, show lyrics. That's how we make them appear. Of course, they have to be in the metadata of those tracks. You could make it streaming only, so it is not downloadable. That is helpful,
Don't
but
do that.
yeah.
Music supervisors want to download your music or they want to be able to import it.
Exactly. So I can save this. There's a child in the background. Then just skipped quickly there. I saved it. Here's the URL. I can open it and take a look at it, or I can go to the share area. So here it is, slightly simpler from the original, but there we go.
Awesome. Looks good. Cool. Well, yeah, I think that's probably a good quick overview for people. We offer a 30-day free trial and we also have a student discount available. So if you want to sign up for the trial, you can go to disco.ac. Tim, do you want to plug it into the
Yeah, let's take a quick one.
Browser? Yeah, and then you can just start the free trial there. So yeah, go ahead and do that. We also have a support chat button on the website. So if there's any questions or anything, you can just get in touch with us.
Yeah, and you can write to us anytime once you're in Disco and learn more about how it works. There's heaps more happening in here that we haven't covered, like contact management and bulk emails and organization. So, once you're in there, you'll learn a lot more about, lots of other tricks that will make your life simpler. Oh, the phone app, lastly, there is an iPhone app. So you can listen to all your music from your phone on the go. You can build playlists and search and send. So that's a whole other benefit to having a Disco account.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Tim. And yeah, try Disco.
No worries. Yeah, have a good one, guys. Cheers.
Okay, bye.